This week we're going to talk about how to search for information in a way that will help you sort the good stuff from the less than useful stuff. We librarians like to call this process search strategies because it's more than just randomly typing words into Google. You're actually planning your search. Here are the goals for this week. I want you to learn how to take your topic and turn it into terms you can search on. You don't want to type a whole sentence into a search box, just the words that are going to help you find what you need. Next, I'm going to teach you methods for modifying or changing your search terms. This is helpful when you're finding either too much or not enough. We're also going to talk about how to combine searches. Some of you have probably already heard of Boolean searching. I'm going to do my best to make it fun. Well, fun-ish. I know. I have this why bother slide in almost all my presentations. I swear it's not because I've run out of ideas, but because I really want you to understand why I feel these are important points to learn. So, why should you make an effort to use the best search terms? The first reason to do so is best demonstrated by the old saying, garbage in, garbage out. In this case, it means that you'll get lousy results if you don't make an effort to put in a good search to begin with. I know you all love the library and you want to spend as much time as you can either there in person or searching our databases, but sometimes you just want to get the research done. The better searcher you are, the faster you'll get the research over with. Lastly, I'm going to teach you some librarian search tricks that will make you very popular with your friends and classmates. Okay. That last point may be a bit of an exaggeration, but many students just don't have the time to learn little things that we as librarians use all the time. I bet that most of you are pretty good at finding what you need using search engines like Google, especially for everyday stuff like finding restaurants or where to get your oil changed. You know that it's a waste of time to type in an entire sentence into Google like, "Where are Italian restaurants in Boise?" This is called natural language searching, which means that you use complete sentences. For those of you with the newer iPhone or iPad, Siri is an example of using natural language to search. Some databases have tried to use this, ask.com is one, but we generally prefer to type less, and that means using keywords. Keywords search on the most important parts of a question and ignore the rest. So in our example, we type in Italian restaurants Boise. Most search engines and databases ignore all the connecting words like the, or, in, and so on. These are known as stop words. Finally, you can search using subject headings. These are terms that have been assigned to a source by a human. You usually don't use subject headings in Google, but they can be very useful when searching library databases. Generally, these are not like normal language. They tend to be more formal and organized in a way that seems a little strange. We're going to focus on just keywords and subject headings since few databases actually use natural language. Librarians generally teach you that there's 3 ways to search: using keywords, using subject headings, or combining the two. We're going to look at using keywords first because this is what you're probably doing already. Keywords are words that you come up with. Google lets you search this way already, but most library databases allow you to search using keywords as well. Keyword searching is a great way to get started, especially if you have no idea what's out there, much less what the subject headings are. Even if you're an expert with searching, you will still want to use keywords if your topic's on the cutting edge or if it's jargon, which is specific to a particular field. These will probably not have subject headings at all. One warning is that keyword searching is not precise, and you may end up with way more than you would ever want to look through. That's all very good, but how do you come up with keywords? First, look at your topic and decide what the major concepts are. We'll say that my topic is looking at why female college athletes might develop an eating disorder. My topic has 3 to 4 concepts, so female, college athlete, and eating disorder. We can add the reason or risk factors later once we've done the initial search. So you can start by searching on those 3 terms, but it's good to think of synonyms if these terms don't find what you're looking for or if you find too much, and those are the words that are listed below. After you've selected a few keywords, you could go into Google, Google Scholar, or one of the library's databases and type those words into the search box. The next slide has a quick demo of how to use your keywords. Let's work through an example of using keywords to search in a library database. I'm going to be searching using our Quick Articles feature on the library's main page. Quick Articles searches one particular database called Academic Search Complete. It's what we call multidisciplinary. That means it includes a lot of different subjects, so it can be a pretty good place to start your search. And we will go into more detail on this in a few weeks. But for now, I've just put my keywords in there. Remember, I'm searching for eating disorders within college athletes, and I'm looking specifically for female college athletes, but the more words you enter into a search like this, the less results you'll get. So it's good to start with maybe a broader search to begin with. So I have my search here under the Quick Articles tab, and now I'm just going to click Search. You can see that this didn't find a lot of articles, but at least some of them are actually closer to my topic, so it's a good start. Also, many databases will highlight or put the words that you searched on in bold, which can be very handy to remember what keywords you're searching on. Subject headings aren't exactly the opposite of keywords, but they don't have a lot in common. Where keywords are terms that you come up with, subject headings are given to an article or book. Someone, usually a librarian, will read or skim through the material, and then they will assign terms that best match what that article or book is about. These terms are not unlimited. The librarian cannot just assign whatever terms they want. They have to use what exists in the database already. This can lead to subject headings that don't perfectly match the topic, especially if it's something relatively new. The upside to subject headings is that they are very precise. Once you find one or two that are actually related to your topic, you are good to go. You will find subject headings within the record of a book or an article. The general rule is that you use keyword searching to find the subject headings. Watch the following demo to learn how to find subject headings using the library catalog and an article database. For an example of how to search for subject headings, we are going to take the last search we did in the EBSCO database where we found 14 articles on my topic. Almost no one starts a search with subject headings because we rarely know what the subject headings are. We start searching with keywords as we did here, and then we look to see what subject headings have been assigned. You can find the subject headings by clicking on the article's link and looking for an area that says subject headings. So first, you want to find an article that seems to match your particular topic. So this looks like a good one, the risk of eating disorders among female college athletes and non-athletes. So I'm going to click on the record. Now I'm looking for, in this particular database, they don't call them subject headings, they call them subject terms. And in this case, we have two, eating disorders, and they actually have a very precise subject heading for women college athletes, which is just what I'm looking for. The subject terms here aren't too far from my keywords, and I'll show you how to search using these linked terms in just a couple of weeks. Another place to find subject headings is in the library's catalog. So I'm under the Books and More tab on the library's homepage, and so I'm just going to enter in a basic search on eating disorders. I'm not going to go too specific because I think that might be a little too specific for the books that we have here in the library. So I've entered in eating disorders. I'm just going to click on search. And this says that we have 44 different entries on the term eating disorders as a title anyway. Now you scroll down to find a book title that looks like a good match. So I'm kind of looking for, here's something that says eating disorders. It's from 2013, so I'm going to try this one. Again, it's not very specific to my particular search, but it might be a good place to get started. So I've clicked on the link, which will bring me into the record of this particular book. In this case, it's an ebook, and to get to it, you just have to click on the link. But what we're really interested in right now is the subject headings. And these are listed to the right of where it says subjects. So we have a few different subject headings here, including eating disorders, plus risk factors and treatment. You can click on the link to find other books with the same subject heading. We'll go into much more detail on this in a couple of weeks. I'm asking you to turn in keywords and subject headings for your topic this week. Now you should feel comfortable finding subject headings in both an EBSCO database or the library's catalog. Of course, you can always contact me if you need any help. Okay, now you have a few keywords and maybe even a couple of subject headings. Generally, you're going to have to combine these in some way to actually perform your search. When using Google, you can just type in a few keywords and you don't have to worry about using anything to combine the terms. You can do this with databases too, but your search will be even better if you use these magical combining words called Boolean operators. There are three: and, or, and not, and they are usually associated with an image like this one. If you've ever learned about Boolean before, you've probably seen something similar. This is called a Venn diagram, and it's a visual way of showing how these terms can narrow, expand, or limit your search so you find just what you need, not 1,000,000 hits. When you use the AND operator, you're narrowing your search. You use AND with terms that are not similar, like libraries and dogs. This will ask the database to search only for items that mention both libraries and dogs. Google automatically ANDs your search. When you use OR, you widen your search. This is great to use for synonyms like cars or automobiles. That search is asking the database to search for any item that mentions cars or automobiles. It doesn't matter which. Not will exclude something from your search. Not is great to use when you have words that are spelled the same but have totally different meanings. Like you could do bat, not, baseball if you're searching for the nocturnal flying creatures versus the bat related to sports. Not is rarely used, even by librarians, because it can make your search too limited. Let's do an example of one of my favorite foods of all time, guacamole. So first let's use the AND operator for avocado and tomato and lime juice. My guac must have all three ingredients, which kind of limits where I can order it from. Now for the OR, red onion or yellow onion. I really don't care what type of onion, so that gives me more options. Now for not. I truly can't stand cilantro, so it always gets excluded when I order or make guacamole. I'm sure that I've missed out on some perfectly tasty guacamole just because I won't eat cilantro. So be cautious in using not in your search. The guacamole example is delicious, but it's a bit silly, so let's go back to my topic and see how Boolean works with a real search. When we use AND here, we're telling the database or catalog that we are only interested in books or articles that talk about both female college athletes and eating disorders, not just one of these topics. Remember, AND will make your search more specific, so there may be 400 articles on college athletes and 2,000 articles on eating disorders, but there may only be 25 articles when we combine the two terms. AND narrows your search. OR is best used when there are similar terms used for a topic. So some of these articles might talk about college athletes, while others use the term university athlete. So if you combine the search to find college or university. If this database has 2,000 articles that mention college and 2,000 articles that mention university, your search will add the two, so you end up with 4,000 articles to look through. Or broadens your search. That means it makes it bigger. This probably seems a bit confusing, but don't worry. Many databases make it quite easy to use Boolean, as we'll see in the next couple of weeks. Many of you probably already use the top trick, putting your phrases in quotes. This can reduce the overwhelming amount of information you find, and what you find will be much more focused. Truncation is a funny word, but it is a very good way to expand a search. Many databases allow you to put a symbol at the end of a word or within a word to search on different variations. In this example, the child with a question mark or the child with an asterisk will look for child, children, or childhood. Different databases have different symbols they use for truncation. Just look in their help section. You can also use a symbol within a word to find variations like woman or women. Just be careful not to over-truncate a word. Anything less than 4 letters tends to bring up too much stuff. So if you try to truncate clone to CLO with the truncation symbol, it's going to bring up a bunch of words that are not even closely related to clone. Proximity helps you find words that are close together. Again, databases have different ways to search this. The EBSCO databases use an N with a number. The number is how far apart the words can be. In this case, I'm asking the database to find instances where cilantro and terrible are within 5 words of each other. It doesn't matter which order the words appear, they just have to be within 5 words of each other. This could be, cilantro is the most terrible tasting herb ever, or many can't stand the terrible taste of cilantro. Google even has a proximity search. They use the word in all caps, around, with the number. Even I don't use proximity searching that much, but it is way handy when you do need it. Watch the following demo to see an example using Boolean, truncation, and quotes. Okay, let's go back to the library's catalog to do an example of Boolean, truncation, and quotations in action. I'm going to search on athlete with the truncation symbol, question mark. Remember, question mark is the truncation symbol for the library's catalog. Then I'm going to use the Boolean operator and then I'm going to put eating disorder in quotes. I also have a truncation symbol at the end of disorder, and that will bring up disorders or disordered. So I'm trying to make it as broad as possible. Now when you're searching in the library catalog, especially under just this Books and More section, you want to select from the pull-down menu the keyword, and it actually specifies that you need to connect your words using some sort of Boolean operator. And then you just click search. There aren't a lot of books on this topic, it just brings up 11. It's not too surprising since that is a pretty specific focus. But again, you can browse through some of the titles, and some of them are really quite relevant to what my search was. Okay, let's do this exact same search, but this time, instead of searching for books in the library catalog, let's search for journal articles. So we are at the Books and More tab. Now we're going to go over to the Quick Articles tab. This search is the database called Academic Search Complete. Again, this is just a general search database, which is good for starting when you're first looking for journal articles. And I'm just going to copy and paste that exact same search string that I had with the library catalog. But remember, the library catalog's truncation symbol is question mark, but almost all other databases it's an asterisk symbol. So I'm just going to switch those out, change my question mark to an asterisk. And then I'm going to click search. Excellent, there's some really good matches here. See, searching can be fun. And this is just to get you started. We're going to really go into detail on these databases soon. To review, after this week, I would just want you to be aware of keyword and subject heading searching, including what they are, how to do them, and how they differ.